Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. If this is your first time here, then welcome. If you are back for a second or third time and you are still unsure whether or not you should subscribe, you came back. So that says something. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. Tonight we are going to be reviewing VH1's Couples Retreat Season 1, Episode 2, Ring of Fire. All right, y'all, let's get into it, honey, because it was a whole bunch of mess going up and through, okay? So when we left off, we saw that they were talking to the king and queen of all things being a couple on reality TV to get a check, Princess and Ray J. Okay, so Ray J was asked by AJ, what he wanted, and he said he wanted Princess to be happy. Well, we know Princess says she didn't believe it, honey. I don't believe nothing you talking about. Okay, Ray J gets upset. He walks away. Okay. Like the child that he is. Child, that's why they always think of you as Brandy's brother. I'm going to need you to grow up. Okay, Ray J? It's getting ridiculous. So he walks away, and then Michael Blackston and Raymond Santana, they go follow him, to make sure he's okay. I wouldn't have followed him nowhere because, first of all, you're a grown man, okay? You decided to come on this show. I don't know if Yandy brought y'all here under false pretenses or what have you, but at the same time, you should know by now how these shows work. You have been in entertainment for over 30 years, so you should know how these shows work. So, anywho, they go over there and start talking to him, and so Ray was like, she's not telling a real story. This isn't fun. Okay, well, it wasn't meant to be fun. Child, y'all should have knew someone gonna be right when y'all saw Jody Mama show up. Come on now. So he claims, that Princess is lying about not telling her about the divorce, right? So then Ray said in his confessional, he was like, certain people and certain women, they just want to drag your name down. And I feel like Princess is one of them. I mean, I could have said so much stuff about her, but I won't because she's my wife. Okay, you won't say anything about her, but yet you're implying that there's something that needs to be said. So that in itself, people can take that and be like, okay, Princess is not what she's appearing to be. Maybe it's more than meets the eye. Maybe she's the one in the wrong. Maybe she's the one that has the marriage falling apart. And then the fact that you sat up on national TV and said that your wife wants to see your name being dragged through the mud. Child, Ray J, go on sit down somewhere, honey. If I had one wish, it would be for you to grow up, okay? If I had one wish, boy, go on somewhere anyway. Anyway, child. So after he gets through hooping and hollering over there with Raymond and Michael, he was like, I'm going to stay over here, child. So he's over there hiding in the bushes. Princess is over there crying to AJ. And she's like, well, why? What's keeping y'all together? Like, why are y'all even together? And she was like, we're together for the kids. And AJ said, look, y'all can co-parent without actually having to be together. And this is what I think. I think that Princess actually does love Ray J, and she loves parts of him. So when those parts show up, it sucks her back in. Because the reason why I say that is because as I'm watching this episode, they were asking each other questions, like a little mini segment within the show. And she was just smiling and laughing. And so those are the parts of Ray that she actually likes. But then when he show up and start acting a fool, then she remembers why she wants to get a divorce. And, she's just trying to fight and hold on to something that ain't there, honey. You still popping, child. First of all, y'all should have been done when he pushed you in that pool. Okay? When you had to go and find him having parties and strippers, whether it was for TV or not, that should have been the end of that. And I know that pushing the pool, that was not scripted, honey. He pushed you because he meant that. Okay? So as all hell is breaking loose, Mendeecees is over here asking about threesomes. He's like, so how do y'all, be having threesomes? Child, now y'all know he's trying to hint to Yandy. Let's get it popping, honey. I've been in prison and whatnot, child, and you ain't doing nothing but laying there, fighting for civil rights and whatnot. I appreciate you fighting for the struggle, but I'm going to need, to spice it up just a bit, honey. It's been 5 years, okay? So Rada, who is Michael Blackston's significant other, she was like, yeah, it's different girls. I don't like when it's the same girl because we'll do something with a girl and then I'll turn around and he'll be right back with that girl. And I'm like, why are you with her? Because at this point, it's a relationship. Girl, once you open Pandora's box, you can't close it. Okay, there's no way to take it back. With these men, that's like when you have a small child and you start playing with them and they're going to say, again. You throw them up in the air, again, mommy, again. That's how men are, girl. Can't lay no woman down in the bed with your man and think he going to just leave cold turkey. No, ma'am, Pam, honey. Anyway, all I'm wondering is, Princess, how many years can you cry, honey? We have seen you cry continuously on every single show that you guys have been on. And Ray J, riddle me this. How is it that you're upset because she said something about you publicly? Did you forget about the Zeus conversation where y'all were both sitting down cussing each other out? Did you forget about Love and Hip Hop? Like, did you forget about how y'all do on social media each and every day, all up and through Instagram, all on TMZ? Like, did you forget about all that, honey? This was mild compared to what y'all usually do. Ray J, go sit down, honey. AJ says, I designed a game and it's called Stuck. So the point of the game is to see where they are stuck. If they move, she's going to be asking them some questions. If they move, that means that they've gotten past it in their relationship. If they stay, that means they're stuck. Okay? So let's get into these questions. So she said maturity. Well, she said she's going to give categories, not questions. Excuse me. So she said maturity. Mendices and Michael Blackson move. Honey, Rada was like, Michael, if you don't step back, honey, ain't nothing mature about you. You play all day. Okay? And now you playing in my face. So back up just a little bit. Lack of romance. So Raymond moved forward, but Delicious was just still standing there. And he was looking at her like, what's happening? So she said in the confessional, she said, ever since we got married, there's no romance. So, I mean, you won a jackpot. I'm going to need you to romance me. Okay. So insecurity. Michael moved on. And so he looked at all of them. He said, I think I'm the cutest mother alive. I know that's right, honey. Because if you don't think you look good, then who will? I am with you on that, Michael. Okay. Yandy stayed there, right? So everybody's moving forward. Yandy up there. Mendices, I'm still standing here on insecurity. Mendices. He turned around. He said, why are you still standing there, yo? She said, because, when you were in prison, it was like, why are you not calling me? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing that? So I'm still insecure. Well, Yandy, honey, he ain't know, child, because he sure moved forward, honey. I almost skipped all the way to the finish line. So Yandy was like, for 5 years, he's been insecure, since he's been in prison. That's all that their relationship has consisted of is insecurities. Okay. So then here comes the part, y'all. Okay. So then she says infidelity. Kirk had the nerve, the audacity to do one hop this time. Boy, don't you move. If you don't cha-cha slide your back in line, boy, go have enough nerve to move. See that little smug smirk on Kirk's face? He would piss me off. I wouldn't be able to deal with him because it's like he doesn't care that he's been unfaithful to Rashida. He thinks it's funny. Oh, idiot, boy, you should be stuck like glue. Then they said mistrust. Kirk moves again. 2 hops this time. Boy, slide to the left. Boy, go on back. Sitting up there gonna move up. So Rashida was like, okay, I guess I'm the only one still with mistrust and infidelity. It's usually that way. The men feel like once you forgive them, then it's forgotten. Then it's nothing else that needs to be talked about, but that's not the truth. Just because we forgive does not mean that we forget. So just because you've moved on and you feel like, okay, everything's back together, we're smiling and kikiing together, that doesn't mean it's over. Child, Kirk a whole clown. On these two, you should have had cement shoes on. Honey, you should have been stuck. Gets on my nerves. So anyway, the game concludes, okay, because now they've done the whole stuck thing so they know where they are as far as a couple. So they go back to the room and Kirk's like, yeah, I like how the game showed like what other couples were going through. And Kirk says, I feel sorry for them. Boy, I know you fucking lying. Kirk is delusional, honey. I feel sorry for that fake hair for men that you done put up there. That hairspray you done put on top of that head. That's what I feel sorry for. And I feel sorry for Rashida. It's a dang on shame that still after 20 years, you have to sit here and go around and about with this man who doesn't even know that infidelity and mistrust is still in his relationship. So, honey, when you was putting him on to make him want to marry you, it wasn't working. Girl, honey. Anyway, child. So, Kirk over there being delusional. And then Delicious is in the other room with Raymond. And she said, you know what? It felt so crazy because as soon as they said infidelity, everybody looked at Kirk. Yes, they did, because they know he's a cheater, pumpkin eater. Anyway, so then we see like the little diary video cams. Princess is in bed alone, telling us she doesn't know why she's still here. Honey, we've all been there, child. We know why you're still here, so let's move forward. So then here's Ray J in his confessional with his little video cam. I did some things not right, and I said some things not right, and I just want to apologize to y'all. Apologize to us? No, you need to be apologizing to your wife. Apologize to her, not us. Boy, you all the way confused. Anyway, so then they have like, some little segments in between where they're asking questions. So the question was, Princess said, when is the last time I made you feel like a man? Ray J said, I've been naked and alone for a long time. Princess said, well, we know you've been naked. Oh my goodness. So after that, we're in the next scene, and Yandy and Delicious go to the pool. And who are these cameramen? Because baby, they were focused all the way on that ass, okay? Like, this is about married couples and couples in relationship, and y'all focusing on their behinds, honey. These cameramen need to be fired, y'all. Anyway, so they zoom in on that ass, okay? And then they go to the pool. They're talking. And so Yandy was like, were you drunk last night? And she was like, oh, child, beyond drunk. So then they started talking about how their men, may need to have therapy because of what they went through as far as being incarcerated. So Delicious was like, I'm having fun and everything, and it's cool because me and Raymond didn't have a chance to have premarital counseling because of the pandemic, and him being in jail really affected him. And Delicious was saying how, like, he'd wake up at 2, 4, in all hours of the night, and she would be like, is it okay? Are you okay? Are you having nightmares? Is it me? Like, she really just wanted to know what was happening, but really, it's all in his psyche. Like, you have to think. His story is like, it's just crazy. It's like something, you couldn't make this up. You know what I'm saying? And then the fact that he was incarcerated from the age 14 all the way to 21, even him having any sense of normalcy is just like, that's something that should be applauded, because I know it has to be mentally tough for you to have taken that large chunk of your life being institutionalized and then thrown into society. Everything's new, having to figure everything out again, and then, starting your life all over. So while they're doing that, Mendices and Raymond go and meet up because they share, the prison thing. So Mendices said, being back is an adjustment. And so Raymond was like, well, people don't understand how I move. And because I've been in jail, I move different, and they don't understand that. So Mendices said, he was getting a lot of mail, but he wasn't getting a lot of mail from Yandy. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out how I feel about this. Because on the one hand, Mendices, she can't sit at home and sit by the phone 24 hours a day and writing you letters every single day of the week like a pen pal. She had to take care of your kids. She had to hold down the house. Life was still going on. Okay, so I don't know exactly what you wanted her to do, child. At least she was there when you got out. I'm just confused. So he said, I had access to the internet, but I wasn't getting nothing from Yandy. He said, then I would look online, and she would be posting here and there and posting all these pictures on Instagram, but she wasn't saying anything to me. And that's where I can see his point, because the thing is, if you're in prison and you're in a relationship, I don't know if they're married or not. Quite frankly, I don't really think Yandy and Mendices are married, honey. I think that was awesome mess VH1 made up, allegedly. But I'm just going to say, if you're in a relationship and then the person on the outside is having fun and you're in here because of your own fault, okay? I just want to put that out there, because I don't want anybody coming for me in the comments like, well, he put himself in there. He's a grown man. Yes, these are all true things, honey. I'm not disputing that. But what I'm saying is, for you to be in a relationship and you're on the inside and they're on the outside, and it looks like things are not as they appear or how they look, then that could make you feel some kind of way, honey. We all human, child. Anyway, so Raymond said, Delicious taught him a lot about how to be married. And then Mendices was like, yeah, Yandy taught me some things as well. I like Raymond. I really do. He's very mature. He seems like the more mature man out of all the men that are at the retreat, especially more mature than Ray J, honey. Anyway, Michael Blackson said, they're asking other questions because it's time for another segment. And he said, if for some reason I lost my memory, what would you tell me? And she said, I would tell you got a big D. Oh, okay. Well, there it is, honey. That's why you laying down with Michael Blackson, that mother sucker looking how he looking. Okay, that's it. Okay. Okay, girl, tell me something good, honey. Ray J said he would tell Princess. He's such an idiot. I am Ray J. These are your kids. And together we are a family. And when I tell y'all, I just hollered at that part, and she was actually giggling too. And that's why I was saying, I think there are some parts of him that she remembers and that she loves. And he's funny, he's charismatic, but at the same time, he's a big baby. Okay. After that, Ray J and AJ meet up. Okay, so she's like lighting tiki torches and it's all dark and smoky and I don't know, it looks like a seance is about to happen. So Ray J walks out and he said, "What you about to do, a ritual?" She was like, "I'm about to do a love meeting." He was like, "I'm not in the mood for no love meeting," okay? So they sit down. She starts talking to him. And Ray J said, "You know what? I had a problem with how the story started off. Let me tell you the real story." And so I'm thinking we about to get into it because we finna get into it. This boy says, "She filed for divorce and I found out on social media." Oh my God. Sonia and Willie Ray Sr., honey, y'all need to get Ray J, okay? Y'all need to get him. Something is really wrong with him. This is what we were waiting for. You wanted to make sure that we knew she filed for divorce first, as she should. Boy, gone, honey. Anyway, so AJ was like, "I don't really care who filed for divorce first. I could really care less. All I'm trying to figure out is, where are you now and what do you want from the relationship?" Child, he started getting all dramatic. And he started being childish, looking on his phone, acting like he didn't hear her talking. And she was like, in her confessional, she said, "I'm not Princess, but I'm happy to see exactly what Princess was talking about. Now I see the real Ray J." So Ray J starts ignoring her. And once again, he walks away. Ray J, you need to grow up. And if you don't want to be on the show, honey, please exit stage left, child, so the rest of them can get some therapy up and through. Ray J does this little selfie cam and he is sitting up here speaking on AJ and saying that he feels like she's biased and that's why he doesn't do therapy, because he feels like the therapist will always take the side of the woman. And a lot of men feel like that. That's why it's best for you to find someone that you mutually agree on that doesn't know either of you and go into therapy that way. Okay, the couples come out and Delicious was looking around and she was like, "Ooh, is somebody about to be eliminated? There are like torches and all that." It's okay, Delicious, honey. It's okay. I know you having flashbacks about Flavor of Love and being eliminated, honey, but don't worry. New York is not here, child. Ain't nobody gonna jump out. You married now, honey. So you gonna be okay, honey. Don't worry about the elimination of it all. So then they start talking to the couple. So the first couple to go up, no, before they start talking to the couples, AJ said, "You know what? I had a talk with Ray and things didn't go well. And so I just wanted to say that I am here for serious business. I'm here to get things done. So if you don't want to participate, you can leave now. So who wants to leave?" And Princess was like, "I want to leave because I don't want to just keep doing this stuff by myself." So she was like, "That's fair. That's cool. You can leave." First couple up, okay? Kirk and Rashida go first. So AJ asked some questions. She said, "Kirk, how do you feel about Rashida thinking that it's all about the business, and lack of love?" He gonna say, "Well, I mean, we're here now. We're stuck here." Damn. Kirk, I really just don't understand how you think you the prize, honey. I really just don't understand it, okay? Because I'm not going to tell you what I thought of you upon first impression. When you first stepped on the scene at Love and Hip Hop ATL, I'm not even going to tell you what I thought, honey. So I'm just saying, Kirk, don't do that. And Rashida was like, "How annoying is it that your husband says that he's stuck with you?" It's not annoying. It's rude as hell. It's not even annoying. It's rude. Ugh. So Rashida was asked if there's anything else that happened. And so then AJ looked at Kirk and she said, "What about the infidelities?" He said, "The world already knows that." So the producer said, "Take us back there. What led you to having a baby on Rashida?" I know that's right, honey. The shady producer. Now, this is how you produce a show. Real Housewives of Atlanta, honey. Take notes. Anyway, so Kirk said, "Me and Rashida hadn't had sex for over a year. We were separated." Did Rashida know y'all were separated? Because men will sit up here and say they're separated, and the men is still coming home, still eating at the table, still sleeping in the marital bed, and saying they are separated. Honey, a fool. Okay. So he was like, "We were separated, and she knows that I was going left and she was going right." So then as they're sitting down talking to each other, he was like, "I had a 15-year run with no problems. I don't get no credit for that." No, you went 15 years without getting caught, because you cannot make me believe that you had one time that you were unfaithful and you just went for the goal, honey. One and done. One time you cheated and you got a baby out of it. You must really think I'm stupid, honey. I'm not Rashida, okay? So I don't believe nothing you saying. You did not go 15 years without cheating on her. I'm not buying it, okay? You seem like you know how to cheat. When Ray J was telling you about that underwear that Princess had, you came up with a lie on the spot, honey. Child gone, honey. You were just good at it back then and got sloppy and ended up getting her pregnant. Anyway, so Kirk said, I would want sex and stuff, and she would roll over and be like, oh, yeah, just do it. And he said, I didn't like that. And so then Rashida was like, well, to his defense, I had postpartum, and it's not excusing him, but, I just wasn't being the wife that I should be. Okay, Rashida, postpartum is very serious. Okay, I suffer from that myself. But at the same time, that was something that you guys should have communicated to each other so that he would know. And Kirk, that is still no reason to cheat on your wife. Okay, I don't care if y'all don't have sex for 90 years. You still are not allowed to sleep with other women. Ugh. Anyway, after that, they go to Rada and Michael. Okay, so AJ said, when somebody keeps talking about stuff doesn't bother them, it makes me think that it really bothers them. All you keep talking about are these side chicks. So she was like, yeah, when we first started out, we were friends for like a few months. He was like, we had sex right away. She was like, no, we didn't. It's looking like y'all whole relationship is based on sex, honey. So let's just speed on through this. Basically, she wants Michael to stop bringing all these extra women in the bed. She liked it at first, but now she feels like that he's doing it all the time. And it doesn't matter if she's there or not. It's just him having multiple women and her. And it's feeling like he's having other relationships outside of her. So she was like, I broke up with him for a long time because I needed more substance. What does more substance mean? She's like, I want him to tighten up the relationship. What I'm hearing is, we've been together for 2 years. I don't want to have these garden tools in my bed no more, honey. I don't want you thotting and bopping. I want it to be just me and you. I want us to be in a monogamous relationship, and a ring wouldn't hurt. Okay, I'm ready for you to put a ring on it. Okay, so we can move on past them. Michael said she agreed to just, to just do it just once in a while. But once she fell in love, she wanted to change the rules. See, that's what I'm saying. You don't get to do that, honey. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. And you already know who you're dealing with. Child, And Rashida, honey, you're being emotionally abused. I just want to put that in. That's just a side note. Then we go over to Yandy and Mandisi's, okay? So they asked if there was any insecurities in the relationship. Mandisi said, no, there's nothing. So Yandy said, yes, there is. There's prison. She said when he was in prison, it was like I was in prison. And he was like, wow, that's crazy because you went 2 months without even emailing me. And she was like, no, I didn't. That's because I called you every day. And he was like, no, you didn't call me every day. And she was like, I did call you every day. But Yandy, I don't know how you was calling every day. I don't know if I trust that. Because do y'all remember that scene on Love and Hip Hop when Yandy was supposed to be on the phone and baby, the phone wasn't even plugged in? Was that the phone you were calling Mandisi's from? Because if that's the case, Mandisi's, you telling the truth. Mandisi's, you telling the truth, child. But anyway, so they start arguing back and forth about her not being present, okay? So then Mandisi said, that's a lie. And so she got on, she got you on these shows now every 5 minutes. So, I mean, that's y'all spending time together now, honey. Y'all done been on from show to show to show since you've been out. Trying to get the money together from all the time she had to put on your books and commissary, honey. Go on with that. So then he says, I just felt like she was handling me some kind of way because if I was out, she would be calling me every 5 minutes. But because I'm in and she knows exactly where I am, she doesn't feel like she needs to be bothered with me. And I just feel like treat me the same in as you would treat me out. I understood that point because, it makes him feel like, okay, I got you locked here. I know exactly where you are. I know when I can reach you and I'll call you when I get a chance. But when you get out, that's when she's going to want to be 24 hours a day communicating. So I kind of saw his point as well. Anyway, so Yandy said when they did talk, he would always tell her, you don't have to do this. You don't have to be with me. And she said she was offended by that. And she said if she didn't answer, she was like in some kind of trouble because Mandisi's was going to have a problem with that. So then AJ asked him, if the roles were reversed, would you hold Yandy down? Oh my goodness. And so she said if the roles were reversed, he said he doesn't know. Yandy said that's so unfair. See, that's how men do. You hold them down, honey, and then when they get a chance to hold you down in return, baby, he would have been out in these streets way worse than you were. So at this point, Mandisi, you don't even have a right to even complain about anything because this lady sat up here and held you down for 5 years. Do you know how hard it is to have 5 years and Nobody's even looking at your Hello Kitty. Child, And then you have the audacity to say if the roles were reversed, you don't know what you would do. I don't know if you're being petty because you feel like she didn't communicate with you while you were in prison like you would have liked, or if this is the real you. Either way, it's effed up. And that is why I say, honey, if you go to jail or prison, you go and buy yourself, honey, single as a $1 bill. Because I will not be sitting around putting my life on hold and waiting for you to get out. Because the thing is, when they calling from jail and writing them letters, honey, they love you. Oh, hey, and I love you. I can't wait to see you. Can't wait to get home. Soon as they get out, honey, in the streets. Okay? I'm telling you because I know. Okay, so I'm just saying, Yandy, I know you wanted to fight for his freedom or whatever you had going on or whatever, child, but you should have been out there doing your thing, having yourself a good time, because he's telling you right now that he would not have held you down. And I know that has got to hurt. Well, child, that's the conclusion of this episode and this review. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen next week. I don't know if Ray J will actually participate. Because at this point, if he doesn't, then him and Princess can just go ahead and go, honey, because y'all not giving nothing. Y'all not giving what you're supposed to give. So you can go ahead and get back on the plane and head on back to LA. If you enjoyed this review, please do not hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.